Hi, we're in Southern California in Mrs. Opfer's classroom, and I'm just gonna quickly, there she is, but maybe we'll get lucky and we'll actually find Alissa Opfer herself. Let me see. Oh, there she is!
Friends. Come on over. I just wanted to tell you a little bit about how I organize some of my materials for reading workshop in kindergarten. So as you can see, we have 4 tables set up for students to work at in the classroom. They're all color-coded, and I found over the past few years implementing reading workshop that color-coding everything really helps students take ownership and some responsibility about where to get their materials and also how to put them back in the right place.
Can you tell us what you mean by color coding?
Very helpful. Sure. So students who sit at the red table have the opportunity to use these star books and then these Learn About the World books. So each of the tubs is color-coded red, and then on each book inside the tub there's a red sticker. So they'll know exactly where that book lives when they're finished using it.
Got it.
And I found that just having these tubs on the table throughout the day is great. I used to just put them out for reading workshop time, but I've really found that students make use of them throughout the day, not just during that workshop time. So now they just live here unless we're working on a big art project or something that requires more space. I just wanted to share with you some of my favorite Starbook titles. So in the old editions of Lucy Calkins, they're called Starbooks, which stands for Storytelling and Retelling. Now in the updated versions, they're called Old Favorites. Either would work. I just thought Starbooks was a little bit cuter. And then on our to-do list, we have a star, which is easy for kids to see. So I'm obsessed with Kevin Henkes. I love all of his stories for a 5-finger retell, for making text-to-text, text-to-self, text-to-world connections. So we have a few different selections of his in our Starbook bins. One of his newest, Waiting, is amazing. Wonderful illustrations. This is one of the most popular choices that the kiddos revisit again and again. Definitely Wemberly Worried is a great kindergarten Starbook option. And we also have Sheila Ray the Brave in here too, somewhere in here. I know that our Starbooks are supposed to be really rich and meaty in their story, plot, character development. We do have several of those options, and I've also added over the past couple of years just a few really fun titles that get the kids motivated to read and really see themselves as readers. So while they might not technically fit into the description of a Starbook, I found that they really encourage those pre-emergent and emergent readers to just pick up a book and start going at it. So we definitely have some Elephant and Piggies. We have 4 copies, so 1 for each table, of each of these Starbooks. And then we also have just some classics, Brown Bear, and then a few different Pete the Cat options. And then our Learn About the World, or our nonfiction book tubs, definitely have a lot of higher level decoding. Most kids aren't going to be able to successfully decode, but that's okay. We really use them for a lot of genre comparison. So right now we're working on a lot of fiction versus nonfiction. How do you know and how can you prove it? So we talk a lot about using labels, using pictures. So anytime Scholastic has a dollar sale, I just grab any good nonfiction that I can get 4 copies of, 1 for each table. I find that really helps so that students, more than one student, can use that book at a time. And then I also just wanted to show you where I keep my leveled library, so we'll go over there next. So when we book shop, we come over and then grab the bucket we need from our leveled library. So I don't have all of my levels out right now because I don't necessarily have readers at every level. So I have a couple kiddos who are still left at A. The bulk of my kinders at this point in the year are B, C, D, and E.
And this is almost March.
Yes. End of February, beginning of March. And then I have, my highest is a K. So when he bumped up from a J to a K, I was out of cubby, so I put the J's away and just brought the K's in. I would say that building up the variety and just the sheer amount of selections you need for your kinder level library was one of the hardest parts of just kind of getting going. So I found for me that I just needed them to have books in their hands. So I definitely took advantage of just the little guided science readers from Scholastic that you can get on Amazon. Now they have levels A all the way up through F, which is great. And then they also have these fairly recent new nonfiction sight word readers. I was finding that it was difficult to really source out those decodable nonfiction options at the lower levels. So those have been a really good bang for your buck. And then I've also been excited about the Nat Geo Kids, the pre-reader levels. So these aren't all necessarily one level. They kind of range from E. Most of them in the pre-reader with the blue are E, F, G, or H. So those have been really great too, some of my favorites. And then I just slowly add to my collection each year. And then my goal was for kiddos to have 10 selections in their book basket at a time. We're still really working to balance 5 nonfiction and 5 fiction selections. It doesn't always work out perfectly. It's a great goal. I think we'll get there someday. But for just being in year 2, I feel like we've at least built it up to the point where they can have some of each genre each week as they're book shopping. So eventually, I think it would be a good goal to have maybe a fiction and a nonfiction for each level. That's kind of my next step. And then lastly, I just wanted to quickly show you what a book basket looks like. So each kiddo in their cubby has their book basket with their 10 just right selections. And then they also have their little Magnadoodle Pro. This is just the travel size. Actually got them on super sale at the Mattel store for like $6 each. But these have been really helpful for us with just response to literature and our stop and jots. That's been a really great tool to use at tables or at carpets. And then we also have just our bookmark with our reading strategies. And then some fun tools just to get them excited and motivated about being readers. So we have our fluency phones to do a whisper read. Sometimes they shout and it's not at all a whisper, but we're working on it. And then some sort of fun pointer. I got these from Lakeshore, but they have some really cute kind of star magic wands, even at Party City, super affordable. And then they each have their kindergarten sight word ring that they often do just as a warm-up before they get started on their just rights. All right, well, it's been so fun to share with you some of my favorite things about Reading Workshop. And we hope you're as excited to implement it as we are. Have a great day.